Call this meeting to order, regular city council meeting, City of Dalhart, Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. First item on the agenda is a prayer. If you would please bow your heads and follow me in prayer. Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for allowing us together, Lord, and have these meetings, Lord. I thank you that the public has input and that you make these things possible. Lord, I thank you for the rain and the recent weather. Thank you for all you do for us, Lord. I pray that you be with all of our first responders and employees, Lord, that you keep them safe and watch over them, Lord. These things I ask in your name. Amen. Please stand with me as we recite the pledge of the United States of Texas.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
First item on the agenda is a consent agenda consisting of minutes from the August 28th, 2023 regular city council meeting, approval of August financial reports and August bills.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public comments. We had two people sign up to speak during public comments. Was there anybody else that filled out a form? Just like to remind you, you have 3 minutes to approach the podium and state your case. We won't engage back with you, but love to hear what you've got to say. First, Carrie Ann, would you like to go first?
So I had an extremely high water bill last year for several months in a row. The very first thing I was told when I was called, you have a leak. Are you sure I have a leak? Because I don't have thousands of gallons of water anywhere. Nope, you have a leak. Okay, called 2 plumbers. Guess what? No leaks. They said, we checked your meters, it works fine. Yep. Months go by. Guess what? No leak. I crawled underneath my 100-year-old house to find no water, and called 2 plumbers. Anyway, long story short, they had to refund me over about $1,000. When he went to actually check the meter and found that it was broken. We've had lots of people here in town have huge water bills, and first they were told, do you have a leak? You have to pay it. Then they came back, oh, we estimate for those months. Now, if I get a bill from someone and I pay it in good faith, that's the bill. Okay. If you come back months later and say, oh, no, we were wrong. We didn't really go check it. We estimate now we went and checked it. And now you owe us this much money. That's hundreds of dollars. Okay. We're going to put you on a payment plan. That's great. People that live on fixed incomes, I can afford it. That's one thing. I'm not here about them. I can afford it. There's lots of people in this town that can't. There's elderly people. There's people that live on fixed incomes. Whether you do a payment plan or not, they have their regular monthly bills that they budget for, and now they have to go back to payments. I just recently got a huge water bill. Came down here, it's for this month. Came down here like everybody else. I was told I was different because they know my meter is broken. So then they charged me $50.50. I've been watering my yard. That's not correct. I even told them, I owe you more money than this. There's no way it's $50.50. They said, oh no, it's fine. This is what we're going to do. I said, well, I'm not going to have you charge me back months and months and months till you fix this meter. Oh no, that's not going to happen to you. Well, one of my friends is one of the people that got a huge bill. I have pictures, which I will get the city email and have them forward it to you all, of his meter, okay, which they said they read. It is not real. It has exposed wiring. And there's so much dirt in there that if he did have a leak, he couldn't shut it off without digging it out. Okay. And I want to know what the problem is and what we can do to fix it. I don't want to stand up here and complain and not give solutions. Do we have enough city employees? We know employment is, it's hard to find people right now. Hard to find people to stay, hard to find people to show up, etc. Is it we're needing meters replaced? Do we not have the meters? Is it our satellite system that's not working? What is going on? It's causing this. And I think that the customers, the citizens of the town would like to know. I know I would. And so my meter's broken, and if my meter looks like that, if my meter looks worse than his, I'll be darned, because that thing is.
Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate your concern.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, Ashley Watson. Again, 3 minutes.
This is in regard to the demolition derby that is scheduled to happen on September 23rd at the XIT Ranger facility. The XIT Ranger facility has been used for primarily equine and Western events for the last 60 years. These events range from gymkhanas, junior rodeos, memorial team ropings, practice team ropings and breakaway, lesson clinics for horsemanship, education, and a genuine place for Western cowboy fellowship. Not only has the XIT Rangers facility hosted equine events, but it has also been an indoor facility for square dancing, potluck meals, birthday parties, indoor garage sales, company parties, and currently cowboy church fellowship. This club thrives on the adult and youth boarders who currently house their horses and utilize the arena for the wellness of their animals and their own mental well-being. Many boarders have removed their animals from the facility due to this proposed event, as they felt their peace and animal welfare was at stake and not in the best interest of the club and directors. Some boarders do still remain, as they have limited or no other options to house their animals elsewhere. So also members of this club were not asked if we supported an event such as a demolition derby in the horse arena. The XIT Ranger facility has been a local option to bring our children to practice, learn, and develop confidence while enjoying horses throughout the entire year. The safety of the animals, riders, and the spectators is of utmost concern. A demolition derby in this facility could destroy the fencing, leave debris that could injure animals and riders, and in turn could pose a liability to the city and ultimately cause unnecessary stress to the animals housed in this facility. We're asking the city council to evaluate the safety of this event, the harm posed to the animals, and the condition of the facility. We ask the event to be moved to another location, not inside the horse arena. We thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ashley. Item number 2, discuss and act upon paid fire chief marshal position. Mario?
I was excited having the fire in the middle of this, so.
We need to table this, Mario, and you guys can go, or y'all good?
We're good. I think we're all right. What we have is the membership. We got together as a membership and looked at this, and we've all met. We're good there. That's fine. And we've all spoke and talked about the pros of this and how we can get this going and what the benefits would be with this. And it would be greatly beneficial, not only to our department, to our community and our surrounding areas. Some of the points that we hit on, and this was a meeting between the membership. We met in thirds, and then smaller groups so everybody could speak and talk and have ideas on, where they were at. And these were some of the points that we hit on. Having daytime personnel at the station, that's crucial for calls during the day. Be able to schedule training, maintenance, and community. Time to schedule trainings. And we can go down through that. Time to prepare community events, time for grants, time to prepare to move to the new station, to work with our county entities, different organizations, and time for public relations with schools, businesses, medical agencies, general. So during these meetings, what we discussed was one of our big underlying needs was more time, and time was the factor on everything. Time on our for brotherhood, and that is a huge strength with our department. This was the key factor of keeping us together in this last 7 months. Time for training. Again, it's the scheduling and getting that done and putting those all together. Emergency response during the daytime and just fire department development with gear and equipment. These all require time, even get back down to brotherhood. That takes time to, want to check on somebody. Takes time to stop and call and talk to them and just bringing it all down logistic wise. Next slide. Okay. This is us. This is our family. This is our crew. This is our department. And this has always been us. Some of the faces and names have changed throughout the years. But this is our family and this is the crew that we have to consider now and also into the future moving forward. Okay, back to our points. Daytime personnel availability during business hours. I'm talking about 8 to 5 working hours. We last few years we adopted a app that we have on our phone, and that was the things you heard on everybody's phone going off a while ago. We can go on there and click whether you're available or you're unavailable, and it's a huge tool that officers and everyone basically can use. Hey, who's going to go to this call? Who can respond? And it shows during the daytime. The availability will drop from time to 4 to 5 people from 8 to 5. And that's hard to respond with that many people during the day. This would be a huge benefit with having staff at the station from 8 to 5 be able to respond, especially if it's, a leader, somebody with experience coming out the door, right out of the box. Again, responding to emergencies. We get a call and you'll have somebody with years of experience on that emergency coming out within seconds of that time. Communications. Sorry, communications with the public. A lot of times when we're down there at the station during the day, that's folks will try to come down there and talk to us, and be it vendors or be it somebody with a question. And get back to vendors, there's times to where we're in need of some equipment, gloves or helmets or whatever. And a vendor will come by and he'll have a special going on and we can catch a deal on something. Some vendors actually offer training also, so you can get with them and schedule training with all different types of areas with that. So that's huge. Having somebody down there the other day, luckily, one of our firefighters was down there and we had a guy come down there hollering, help, help, stumbling through the door, and he was about to have a medical event. I never heard what it was, but luckily somebody was down there during the day. I think he was cleaning his gear or whatnot. But we got that guy some help. So, and then missed opportunities. Again, if we're not down there and these folks come down there, we miss those conversations, and you never know what it is about. If it's somebody that's trying to provide some training. We had an individual come down and talk to us about inviting us to benefit dinner. And then we also learn from the same group that they offer grants. We never knew that before. So again, missed opportunities. Training, all the different subjects we go through the State Firemen Fire Marshals Association of Texas, and they set the curriculum the training that we use. There's 21 different categories that we study on and we train on. In those categories, there's opportunity for 12 different certifications, and they range from firefighter 1 to fire officer training. It's like I said, there's 12 different certifications and there's a lot to do. And that's just not pertaining to just the department as a whole. That's individually. Each individual has the opportunity to train almost 21 different types of objectives and those 12 different certifications. That's individually. So with somebody there with the time to look at this individual, he needs this type of training. We have this many in certifications that we need to work on. That gives them time to organize that and get that together. And see what training is out there, what's needed, and a way to, to get our folks trained. Let's see, we went through state requirements, planning and scheduling. Again, there's training all over the panhandle, different times in the evenings, on the weekends. If we don't have the opportunities to look for those, look them up and schedule those, they're again missed opportunities. And then the research, just getting the training done, sitting down and actually putting the class together takes time. In the past, we've had staffing being able to schedule an academy. There's 2 levels. There's firefighter 1, firefighter 2. We had the chance of scheduling the academy for firefighter 1. We ended up certifying several with that academy. So preparing for events. We are involved in a lot of different events with different organizations throughout the year. Like, tonight we're doing the bonfire when we're doing here. And that takes some preparation, size up on, how the logistics of how that bonfire is going to get done. Takes time, and takes time to meet and sit with the kids and the teachers and get that all scheduled out. Fire prevention takes time also, with all the different schools in our areas and 2 counties and our cities. Just having those conversations with folks and getting that prepared. And then also the fire extinguisher training. In the past, we've gone out to different businesses and done fire extinguisher training with them. And, that takes time to go out there and get that done. And it takes manpower to do that. Incident action plans, all the different events throughout the year with the air show and XIT. And then we have just all these different events coming out the year. That takes time also to get that done. And then again, just the communications. To have somebody to be able to communicate with these different organizations and all these different subjects. Grants. This is a year-round thing that we do. It's continuous, and especially with the supply shortage, you have to write a grant and it has a timeline. So if you get to the end of that timeline, you have to request an extension on it. And then you send that off, talk to those folks and make sure everything passes that. And so again, someone to be able to sit down and do this and actually organize them and have them scheduled out. We have the grant for the truck coming up. I think we have till the middle of next month, we'll have to ask for an extension on that if it doesn't arrive before then. So again, just time. Okay, coming up, especially between now until we're ready to move, there's a lot of organizing and cleaning and going through the station on what we do need to move, what we don't need. And that's all going to take time to organize that and get that all together, and plan that move out instead of trying to dump that all at once and just prepare to be there. We have several different, you think about the logistics, the hose rack back there, we're going to have to move that when we're ready, because if not, and we have a call, we need it, we're going to have to bounce between, what's where. So that's going to take time to get that done. Okay. Working with these other organizations, not only just here in the city, but our 2 counties, the other 3 departments. So we work closely with them, and especially with Hartley, a lot of training that we organize together with them. And then go back to that app we were talking about. Well, the officers have the to where we can see who's available in the different departments. You know, they might need some more help this day or whatnot. And we talk amongst each other. And again, that takes time to sit down and organize and have conversations. We'll go out and talk, and we'll have meetings amongst the chiefs and say, hey, what's your needs? What are you guys looking at? And, you know, what can y'all, what do y'all have coming up next? And how can we help out? Also with those, the trainings that we get done, we will bring other departments in to fill the class, and that way we're all on the same page. You ever go to a scene with Dalhart and Hartley? I mean, it's like one of the, you can't tell who. We're all working like a well-oiled machine. And you want to build these relationships with these different groups. Okay, public relations, being proactive, going out here and having meetings and talking with these, you know, with the school or with the hospital, and just having a face-to-face conversation with these folks. And like this one here, the program we started this year with we'll call it a stretch. It's a monthly training that we will go out. It's pretty much like a stress test. We went to the high school, got hold of the high school and said, hey, we're going to come out and we're going to practice a fire there. And we went to the high school and set up a drill, and good. So being proactive and going out and meeting with these folks and seeing what the potential hazards are in these different buildings and different areas. That takes time to go out there and stop and do it. And again, back with on that last sentence there, going out and pre-planning, not only here, but on our surrounding areas, pre-planning. If we have a grass fire, big grass fire, I don't know if y'all remember the big fires we had back in 07 and 08. Some pre-planning on that would have been helpful. You know, hey, we have water here. There's a trail back here that we can use, and just being proactive and going out and pre-planning these different areas, being better prepared. And again, in conclusion, the firefighters of the Dalhart Volunteer Fire Department have recognized the need for staffing during the day, the need for a paid fire chief during the day. And I have some of my firefighters and some of the other guests that would like to speak.
Good evening, council. For the ones that don't know me, I'm Shiloh Watts. I'm the president of the Dalhart Volunteer Fire Department. This evening, I'd like to talk to you about additional staffing that we have brought forward to you today. As the city continues to grow and the fire department continues to meet the community needs, we must continue to grow within the department and city. It is common for the department to be toned out in the daytime with little response. It is the fire chief's responsibility to leave his job and make sure that he reports to the scene of an incident and make sure that it runs safely for the community and also for the firefighters. After the chief has already spent hours at a fire call and also his daily job, he has other duties that he must finish throughout the month. Some of the things that he has to do is he has to make sure that fire reports are finished that are required by either the state or federal. Then the other thing is some citizens need reports for their insurance companies. And if they don't have those reports on time, they don't receive their money on time, and then you have upset citizens. And so that pulls a lot of time away from the fire chief position. The fire chief's responsibility at this time is developing, reviewing, implementing all firefighter policies and procedures in accordance with the municipal bylaws, state and federal. They also establish appropriate firefighting techniques, and they ensure firefighting policies and procedures are strictly adhered to. They make recommendations on changes to the department bylaws. They recruit. They also make sure that volunteers have the training they need to be able to be there and know what to do at the time of an incident. They also evaluate firefighters' performance and also inspect the equipment and apparatuses on a regular basis. They make recommendations on the replacements or repairs of equipment. They take command in the event of a fire in order to make sure that the scene is safe, effective, and has a controlled response. They also monitor the firefighting and firefighters' budget and performs other related duties required. The volunteer fire department is asking for this paid staff to ensure that the daily requirements are met per city, state, and federal. This evening, as the president of the Dalhart Fire Department, and on behalf of the members of the department, we would like you to grant the request of additional staffing and bring on a full-time fire chief / fire marshal. And once again, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Shallow. Again, Shallow is our membership president. I'd like to ask Assistant Chief Robert Gordon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for letting us speak. I'm the first assistant chief. I come to y'all to tell y'all the benefits of having full-time fire chief. Mario has been first assistant chief for 17 years, and I was second assistant chief for over 8. Together, we worked very well under Curtis. After his passing, we both moved up in our positions and come to the realization all what Curtis did as a paid fire marshal and volunteer chief. We know now why he has always had to stay and work late in many hours during the weekend. Because now Mario is having to do all of that with a full-time job. We need a full-time paid chief to help with the countless hours of being on call, writing grants to help save money for y'all and the citizens, and also help plan and everything for training and everything to better our department and our citizens. He will also be doing the countless hours of fire reports. And I'm telling you, he's having to go in at night, having to shut the door, lock the door, and do all these reports so he can get it done without any interruption. Being a full-time fire chief, he'd have more opportunity to do that during the day. And as being assistant chief, I've understood when Mario's out of town, how many calls we get at night of people not wanting to call 911. They call us just to open the door to a house. Can you help us do this? Can you help us locate this? Police department, come and help take care of this, do traffic control, go do landing zones. I mean, this is just many countless hours and hours we do at night after our full-time job. I can keep going on and on everything for reasons to get a paid chief, but that will take all night. We always said no one can replace Curtis. But I know in my heart, my brother and mentor, Chief Garcia, will get the job done. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Hartley Fire Chief Scott White, please come up.
It's become quite apparent to me in the last 11 months how much Curtis did. Not as a fire marshal, emergency management coordinator, but as a fire chief. I think that was probably 95% of his job duties. I sit now and I watch these guys from the outside, and not just from the outside, but how it's affecting our department too, not having the chief there to help with us during the day out in the counties, both counties, and Brad Riley and Brent Louder and Channing and I've talked about that, but just imagine if your public works department was run by a bunch of guys and just like these guys, they're quite capable of getting the job done. But the head of that department just comes in at night and tries to do all the reporting, everything else that goes along with his job, but he just comes in when he can and do it. It just doesn't work. And in emergency services, we sit around, we always say, and I tell my county commissioners this, y'all see us sitting around like we don't do anything, and we don't. But we're training in the background, we're training, we're doing all this other stuff. But when somebody calls 911, they don't give a crap whether they're paid or not. They expect somebody to be there right then. Just like Tommy across the street, police chief. If somebody calls 911, they want to, and they need a police officer, they need them right now. They don't want to have to wait. They need somebody then. EMS, the counties, the cities, the hospital pay for that to make sure we have people ready to go within a minute or two. So during the daytime, our department has, without having Curtis and David there like they were, we get a call out in the county. I mean, we knew them two were coming right away to help us. Curtis was always there, and Mario's coming along with what Curtis did, but there's so many times I'll call Mario when we get a call and he's in Adrian or wherever that his current job has him, and he's not here. He's not able to take care of what's going on over here. These guys are very capable of doing it all. But again, leadership is a big thing, and having somebody there every day will make a big difference in that department and their morale and the way everything it gets done over there. You got to have somebody there supervising. Again, they're quite capable of taking care of it, but if the leader's not there, things just happen that shouldn't. But again, as a citizen of Dalhart, I'd really encourage this, but more so as a chief of out in the county and the fire department, the emergency management coordinator for Hartley County now. I talked to Brad Riley the other night. We met him, talked about this deal, and he's the same way. It'll benefit his department knowing that the fire chief in Dalhart is paid and making sure that everything's ready to go. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I would like to ask Assistant Chief Tommy Chisholm, please come up.
When I first got on, Mario was my captain, and he's the one who trained me to get where I am today. And two things I know Mario loves is this fire department and his family. And him not being able to be down there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, taking care of the reports, it's pulling him away from his family at nights, on weekends. And that's not right. He needs to spend time with his family just like everybody else does. But he's doing that to take care of us, to take care of the city with the reports and getting the trainings and everything that we need. And going back to what he was saying, the missed opportunity and times. I'm employed by the city. I work at the city shop. I work down there 3 days a week, and I work down at the station 2 days a week as a mechanic. And just in those 2 days that I'm there, I cannot count how many people has come down there or called. Hey, can I speak to your chief? Well, he's not here right now. Well, where's he at? He's at his other job. It's like, oh, he's not paid? No, he's not paid. Okay, well, I'm needing this report. Like, I can get your information and pass it along to him. I think the people of Dalhart would feel a lot better knowing that our chief is there to answer those questions that they have. So, and like you said, with the trainings and everything, I've had people come by the school, for an example. They want to do a fire extinguisher class for their culinary. Like, our chief is not here. I'll have to pass that information along to him. I mean, I get calls like that all the time. And having Mario there to answer that call right then would be a great benefit, instead of having to wait until he gets back in town or whatever he's doing on his other job. So having him down there from 8 to 5 would be a great benefit.
Yep. So, in conclusion, with this, like I said, we've seen the need of the benefits of a paid fire chief during the day. And I said, we've met with our membership and we are prepared to move forward. We're prepared to change bylaw on that subject at our next meeting for the first reading, just like here. You have to have 2 readings when you do an amendment. We're prepared to do that at our next meeting. I know it's change, change is scary. Especially since, everything changed for us last October. But if there's not one thing that we haven't learned from this is how to approach change, and it's being emotional intelligent and being courageous and just moving forward. And that's where we are at this point. So we're asking now, as a membership, to move forward. That's all we have.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on item number 2?
I guess my one thing about it is I 100% agree that y'all need a paid fire chief position. But on making him fire chief and fire marshal, I think letting Mario be fire chief and let him handle that. We still have a fire marshal position with the emergency coordinator position that needs to be filled. So then are we going to throw all 3 on Mario? Because I think that's way too much to put on him to do that.
How much time does a fire marshal position take on a monthly basis?
I'll be honest, I don't have a
Can you
number.
answer that, Mario? On fire marshal, you think?
I mean, it's the two are doable. The fire chief and fire marshal. I mean, for example, you look back how Curtis, how he managed it, and he did well at it. So it is something that can be done with the two. Very, very capable of doing together.
I don't think we're not doubting your capability of doing it.
And I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to put all of that on one person.
And
It's
I
my-
want to get at this to where it's not personal. Because it is we're looking at the position change and not me. Because we also need to look at and remember about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. We want to do this right and have this prepared now for them. And I do believe that is a very capable job that one person can do. Did some research and spoke with some of the area fire chiefs. Spoke with Dennis Gwynn out of Canyon Fire, and that's what he is. He's the chief fire marshal. It is it's doable from what I've seen.
I mean, that's my only thing is the emergency coordinator then.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I think the discussion is if we, council desires to implement a plan to development of a fire chief, fire marshal with no personalities involved in it. Sure. We're considering the position.
Right. If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to move forward with the paid fire chief, fire marshal position.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
Item number 3, update from High Plains Engineering on the progress of Highway 54 utility relocation project.
Evening. Well, Josh, Rock Utility. I remember him from last time. So since we last gave you guys an update up here, the project has been completed as far as the utility work goes. The brick paving has been completed as of last week, right?
It was first of this week. It was supposed to be last week, but
Yeah.
they had a couple delays.
And so what that consisted of was a concrete base that was poured and then the brick was laid on top. And so that's been completed. The portion that remains on the project is the asphalt paving repair. And we're waiting on the local subcontractor to put it in the schedule to be able to come out and do the asphalt repair. I don't know if you want to speak to any of that or any other work that you have left to do.
Yes, that's basically all we have left is the asphalt repair. Spoke with G&G this morning. And they are running a little bit behind because of the weather. They had said Monday of next week is when they would be there. They gave me an updated of the 27th, which is 2 weeks from today. That'll give us time to prep more area. It's going to be a little bit of a nuisance because of the closed roads, but it'll all come together real quick at the end. When they are able to mobilize and start that, they should not take that long.
Right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Also had another quick thing. Last time I was here, I told you that they planned on letting the paving project for Highway 54 next year in October. I spoke with them today again, and they're saying that they are making it a high priority to try and move that up now that everything else has been done out of the way. So it could be sooner. So it may not be another year. It could be a lot sooner than that to move that up the priority list and get that project going. So some good news there.
Thank you, Adolfo.
Thank you.
You're through with the bricks. When's the sand gonna be out of that street out there?
It's gone.
Is it gone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As soon as they got done they actually finished up last night with the brick and moved the sand this morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Item number 4, discuss and act upon recommendation from the Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee to provide funding to Strikeout Cancer softball tournament.
Through hot tax committee, recommended $5,400 for strikeout cancer softball tournament.
Entertain a motion to approve the tax committee recommendation.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5, discuss and act upon rescheduling the regular city council meeting scheduled for October 9th, 2023. I think that's a holiday, is that correct?
Correct, Columbus Day.
And so is anybody opposed to another Wednesday, October 11th? I don't want to make a habit of doing Wednesdays, but
If everything works out, I won't be here anyway. So on that date, 11th or the 9th, either one.
okay. Entertain a motion to move October 9th meeting to October 11th.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6, discuss and act upon allowing the XIT Rangers to host a crash derby in the arena at the XIT Rangers Club.
Jamie, did you want to speak?
Mr. Mayor, my only concerns in relationship to that was addressed there, looking into it, into public safety and damage to the property and the environmental impact that could be caused to the arena.
Say something on that?
What you got? Sure.
So we got you said the environmental and this public safety and whatnot. We got insurance and they're requiring us to build a 3-foot by 3-foot berm inside the fence. So it stops the cars from getting into the fence to get into the crowd. We have the fire department on board coming out, lending a hand just in case, if there is a fire or something like that. We got somebody also that's EMT certified to be there for, somebody gets hurt or something like that. But as far as public safety goes, I've been in the derby world since I could walk, and spectators are never usually the issue, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there, and the preparation of the arena, like I say, we used the dirt in the arena, build the berm. The cars that come in that arena, they're stripped of glass, plastic. There's no, it's basically just a metal car at that point. And we have, all our sponsors, they're doing payout on all of it and everything else. G&G is going to be a big help. We got a big magnet trailer. Going to run through the arena and harrow it before we lay that dirt back down. And the track's going to be super wet to where them cars don't get traction all that well. I mean, they're still going to be crashing, but they're not going to be track shotting somebody at 40 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So that's all wanted to put out there, I guess.
Good question. I know you mentioned all of that, but I think my concern over this would be for the animals that are kept there.
Hmm.
What have you done to remedy that situation? Have you made any kind of agreements with the individuals that keep their animals there? I mean, they're paying rent to the rangers,
Right,
and some of them are high dollar animals.
right.
But what's the remedy for that?
What we were gonna do is park pickup and trailers along the one side to kind of funnel the noise, but I mean, it's not gonna be. I mean, these derbies go on in arenas all around the world and rodeos happen the day of, and
They house their animals there?
all the stock is in the pens in the back, behind the buck and shoots when it all happens. So I get what you're saying on that part. But, I mean.
The owners voiced any concerns? Got it.
Not to me personally, no. But.
What, if I may, Mayor, the question would be also be inclusive of the chemical that would be put into the dirt. How you gonna clean up the residue from the
Yeah, like
plastic materials?
like antifreeze, stuff like that.
Yes.
Antifreeze. Yeah,
Oil.
well,
It's a hazmat situation, so.
yeah, for sure. I know the cars, they don't run antifreeze, they run pure water. Gas, they're in fuel cells. They're not just regular gas cans. They are metal built fuel cells. This isn't the rules, you have to have them. Other than that, there's really, I mean, only other thing I can think of is maybe a transmission or something like that fluid, but I mean, if that happens, we can take it down and get rid of the dirt. And because I'm gonna have the equipment there.
If I may, it still gets in the dirt, so. You have to have that consideration for future use of the arena on the many activities they perform out there. It's just, it is, and with the 3-foot berm.
That's not gonna stop a car, I believe.
That's just my concern.
Well, you ever been to a derby?
I have been to a derby.
It's not, you're talking the noise and stuff. It's not like they run dragsters. They're not screaming 1,000 horsepower. It's an ordinary car, an ordinary open exhaust. Half the cars going down the street don't make more noise than what these cars do out there. For concern for the animals.
So
If that's,
was there any other locations that were considered for this besides the arena?
I tried to do the big arena, and I couldn't ever get a hold of anybody for that one, but no, I never did get anybody to give me an answer. That's why we went with the Rangers. I asked them what they charged to rent it. We was wanting to put a derby on. They gave me a price and I paid them, and then so we went forward with it, and then yeah.
So it's, excuse my ignorance on this, but so the rank is run by like a board? It is. So like the whole board was informed about it and
So
personnel told about it.
A vote.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they voted on it the way that I understood it.
Mayor, I think I misunderstood. Shannon would like to speak.
Shannon, did you want to talk?
Yeah, can I get your name, sir?
Sam Garrett.
Sam what?
Garrett. 2 R's, 2 T's.
Thank you.
So I have begged from the beginning not to have this crash derby in our arena. This arena is 1/4 of the size of the XIT rodeo arena. Most crash derbies that are held in event arenas or huge arenas. On the north end, we've got rope and steers. And I want to say less than 50 feet, or I'm not good at distance. But if you've ever been out to the Rangers, you're going to see how far the stalls are from the arena. And most of our horses are on that side. There's anywhere from 3-year-old horses out there to 23-year-old horses out there. I don't care if they put a barrier there. I realize it's not those racetrack kind of loud cars. It's the banging, the smashing, the screaming. They're gonna spook these horses. They're gonna spook the majority of these horses. And I, for one, don't have nowhere to take my three. But if something happens to Apollo, who was my son's horse, I will never forgive them. Because that boy has been there for almost 4 years. And I made a promise to my son that I would take care of Apollo. And how transmission fluid, oil, all that is toxic. You can't dig down far enough to make that arena safe again for all these children or for all our horses to be able to get out there and romp and play. Manuel's doing a good job maintaining that place, and I'm not trying to go behind his back and do this, but I'm looking at all this livestock, all of us that own, we weren't given a choice. We were not talked to what we thought about it. I have nowhere to take my three horses. There's a few others out there. They have nowhere to take their horses that day. It's bad enough at Easter time. These kids love to go see all the horses, and I have a kid magnet out there now. It's a miniature pony, miniature horse. They love them. Well, this Easter it was reported to me that Brendan's horse reared up and went to bite a kid. Well, where was the monitoring? Why wasn't it adults standing there to keep people away from these stalls? You spooked the horse is gonna rear up. He's skittish. Ever since he lost his owner, Apollo's not the same. Never will be. Do your research on horses, they never forget their owner. Never. So what's going to happen with all these people packed in there? You can't tell me there's not going to be a little kid to wander off and crawl in a stall and get stepped on or get kicked. We got to look at this, folks. We got to look at the protection of this legacy that was built as an equine facility. Not a crash derby. Not a crash. Let's do other things to raise money for our XIT Rangers. Let's have ropings. Let's have mutton bustins. Let's have little things like that. That arena was meant to be. So thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Mr. Mayor, if you'll entertain a motion,
I would entertain a motion.
make a motion, we deny the request to host the crash derby to XIT Rangers Club.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Item number 7, discussing future agenda items for city council. Item number 8, comments from city manager and department heads.
We will have the audit next meeting, and we will also have the monthly financial report.
Thank you.
Mike.
As pertaining to the water bills and stuff like that, we'll let you know that we did an assessment. It was about less than 10 customers that were estimate versus actual reads, which we went ahead and called. I called them personally, talked to them. So we're taking measures now to see and try to figure out where we need to go from here on the sides with the meters. When she asked questions, having our meters faulty, all the current wires, we're taking measures and putting in place right now to go ahead and look at these things and fix them to see and understand more about what's going on there. So.
Thank you, Mike.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Thank you.
Make a comment.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
I didn't know we were on that. I thought we were, there was comment.